You weren't chosen randomly. Someone watched you for a long time, before you even knew they existed. The life you call yours was designed, your habits, your preferences, your closest relationships all curated. You've been inside the system so long. The walls feel like home. They don't need to control you by force. You do it yourself. The people around you aren't close to you. They're assigned to you. Every door you opened, they unlocked first. You don't know what you actually want anymore. And slowly, you're starting to wonder, if you ever did, level 1 you weren't supposed to wake up. You wake up without the moment before. No transition. No memory of opening your eyes. Just awareness placed into a room that feels prepared for you. The lighting is even. Not bright, not dim, balanced in a way that removes shadows. The walls are smooth, uninterrupted. No seams, no corners that invite attention. You sit at a table you don't remember approaching. There's a folder in front of you. Black. Matte, centered precisely with your line of sight. Your name is printed on it. You recognize it instantly. The signature beneath it, you don't. Your hand moves before you decide. Fingers press lightly against the cover, as if confirming texture matters. It doesn't. A voice interrupts, not from behind you, not above. It exists everywhere at once. You're late. No urgency in the tone. No emotion. Just a statement that assumes agreement. You stand. There's no reason to. No instruction given. But your body aligns anyway, like it's catching up to something already decided. The door is open now. You don't remember it opening. The hallway beyond stretches farther than it should. People move through it measured, consistent. No one looks at you. Not avoidance. Absence. You fall into their pace without thinking. No introductions. No signals. Just synchronized movement. A screen flickers as you pass. Numbers shift. Headlines rewrite themselves. Mid-sentence. A graph collapses, then stabilizes. No one reacts. You slow slightly. The voice returns, closer now. Observation is not your role anymore. A hand appears beside you, placing a thin card into yours. No face. No acknowledgement. Just words. Follow the pattern. You don't understand it, but your steps have already adjusted. Level 2, there are rules you don't remember learning. You're moving before you understand where you're going. Time isn't explained, but everything happens on. Doors open as you approach, close the moment you pass. Screens activate without touch. Pathways adjust around movement you didn't consciously choose. No one gives instructions, yet you don't stop. There's a rhythm beneath everything, precise, repeatable. You begin to notice it in your own steps. Slight delays feel wrong, like misalignment instead of hesitation. You test it. Just before entering a room, you pause. Not long. Just enough to break the pattern. Nothing changes at first. Then, something shifts, not visible, not audible. The space tightens. Someone behind you moves forward, passes you, completes the entry you interrupted. No glance. No correction. Just replacement. You step in after, slightly out of sync. No one acknowledges it, but something has been noted. Inside, people move without speaking. Information passes without sound, glances, positioning, timing. A decision made across the room resolves instantly, like it was never debated. You follow without asking how. Screens line one wall. This time, they stay active. A market begins to fall, numbers cascading. Headlines form mid-sentence, adjusting tone, shifting emphasis. In the adjacent space, someone modifies a single data point. Nothing dramatic, just a small change. Minutes later, the collapse stabilizes exactly along the new line. No reaction, no recognition. Your chest tightens, not with panic but understanding. This place doesn't follow events. It sets them. You turn slightly, voice low. What is? This quote dash. Silence absorbs the question before it finishes. The next door doesn't open. You stand there a moment longer than necessary. Then step back. Access adjusts. You don't try again. Because now you understand something else. You're not learning the system. You're being measured against it. Level 3, you stop asking. You start becoming. You stop noticing when it begins. The hesitation fades first. Then the need to interpret. Your movements shorten, cleaner, more direct. You reach for things, before prompts appear. Doors don't just open for you anymore, you arrive as they open. It feels efficient, natural. You're given tasks without being told they're tasks. A data stream pauses briefly in front of you. You adjust a value not randomly, but because it feels misaligned. The system accepts it instantly. No confirmation, no feedback. You move on. Later, a screen updates. A narrative shifts tone. A headline reframes itself. The response online begins to tilt, subtle at first, then measurable. You trace it back. It leads to your input. You don't react. because no one else does. You begin recognizing structures, patterns beneath outcomes. Cause and effect isn't delayed here. It's immediate, compressed into something observable, predictable. You start anticipating changes before they're needed, adjusting variables before they surface. No one instructs you to do it, but nothing stops you either. That's when you notice the absence. No hierarchy, no visible command, no one overseeing. Yet nothing conflicts. Everything aligns without friction, like each part already understands its place. You look at the other's same precision, same timing, interchangeable. You realize it quietly. No one here is leading. They're executing. And now, so are you. Your name appears less often. Your function appears more. You don't question it. Because questioning would slow you down. And slowing down no longer feels like an option. Level 4, you're not watching the world anymore. Your access changes without announcement. It starts with a screen that doesn't disappear. It waits for you. No prompt, no instruction. Just a quiet persistence, like it expects engagement. You step closer. Data arranges itself not randomly, not passively. Layers separate. Signals isolate. Patterns emerge faster than you can consciously process them. You don't analyze. You recognize. A directive appears, simple and incomplete. Optimize outcome probability. No context follows, but you understand what it requires. Your hand moves across the interface, not searching select. You adjust timing on a release. Slightly delay one stream. Amplify another by a fraction. Nothing extreme, just enough. The system accepts every change without resistance. Minutes pass. Then the response begins. Information shifts direction. Public reaction follows with precision that feels rehearsed. Conversations align. Decisions cascade outward. Exactly as anticipated. You don't feel surprise. You feel confirmation. You try again, smaller this time. A contained variable. A controlled signal. The result arrives faster, cleaner, repeatable. The distance between action and outcome compresses until it feels immediate. You're no longer observing patterns. They're responding to you. The room remains silent. No approval. No correction. Only continuity. Then a new layer unlocks deeper, heavier. A larger system. Wider reach. A single change here doesn't shift perception. It redirects momentum. Your hand pauses not from uncertainty but recognition. This isn't adjustment. This is influence at scale. The system doesn't move. It waits. And for the first time, the hesitation feels inefficient. You make the change. Somewhere far from this room, something begins to unfold. You don't see it directly, but you know it's already in motion. And now, it leads back to you. Level 5, it stops feeling like a choice. You stop measuring actions by effort, only by outcome. The interface no longer waits for you to explore it. It opens already filtered variables ranked, paths suggested, probabilities calculated in advance. You follow the highest return, not because you're told to, because it's obvious. A delay in one channel stabilizes another. A shift in emphasis redirects attention. The system presents consequences as numbers, clean, detached, resolved before they happen. You execute. The response arrives faster now, wider. What once affected a narrow stream begins to spill into larger spaces, dash markets, sentiment, movement. You don't see people. You see patterns adjusting. A cluster disperses. Another forms. Signals rise, peak, disappear. Efficient. You continue. Access expands again, not as a reward, but as a requirement. Larger inputs demand broader visibility, more variables, more reach. The system scales with you, or around you. A new adjustment appears heavier than the others, not complex, just weighted. You trace its projection. A correction here stabilizes a larger structure. The cost registers in a secondary column. You don't pause long enough to define it, because the primary column resolves everything else. You proceed. The outcome aligns exactly. The system absorbs it without acknowledgement. No confirmation, no resistance, just progress. You notice something subtle: your decisions are faster now, cleaner, free of interruption. The question that used to surface doesn't. Not because it was answered, because it stopped appearing. You lean back slightly, watching the flow continue without friction. Nothing pushes back. Nothing needs justification. And in that absence, something else fades. Not suddenly at all. Just quietly enough that you don't mark when it's gone. Level 6, you were never meant to leave. The thought arrives without context, not triggered, not introduced. Just present. What happens if you stop? Not resist, not interfere. Just withhold. Your hands rest above the interface. Inputs continue to populate, ranked, optimized, waiting. You don't select. Seconds pass. Nothing breaks. The system doesn't prompt you. No alert, no correction. The data shifts slightly, rebalancing. A path you didn't choose is rerouted. Another signal rises to replace it. The outcome still resolves. Clean. You watch longer this time. Another decision window opens. You ignore it. Again, the system adapts. Not around you specifically, but around the absence of you. Someone else doesn't step in. Something does. The function continues without identity attached. You stand slowly. No one stops you. The room doesn't react. You step back from the console. The screens remain active, processing, adjusting uninterrupted. For the first time, you're not inside the flow. You're beside it. And it looks the same. The voice returns, unchanged. Do you understand now? You don't answer, because the answer isn't verbal. It's structural. Nothing here required you. You weren't directing outcomes. You were aligning with them, perfectly enough to be used. You glance toward the hallway. Movement continues precise, synchronized, identical. No entry point, no exit, just continuity. You return to your position, not instructed, not forced. Your hands settle back into place. The next input appears, and this time, you don't hesitate.